Well, hello, this is Rebel 9668, and we finally got us another vehicle here. It looks just pretty much like our last vehicle, except this one's silver gray instead of red, and it's a 2008 model instead of a 2002 model. It needed a lot of cleaning up when I got it home, and the headlights were real hazy, but I took some 2000 grit sandpaper and wet sanded them, and then I took some rubbing compound and put on them and took my buffer and buffed them out, and looked like they cleared up pretty good. I just wanted to get on and let everybody know I'm still alive. Now it does have some surface scratches and stuff in the paint, like, I don't know if it'll show up on the camera or not, but let me see here. Yeah, there they are. I'll get those things sanded out here when the weather warms back up. Today's the last day of warmish weather. Been a pretty warm January so far. But I got it all cleaned out on the inside, and you could tell kids had it before. Well, people with kids had it before, because there were boot prints on the backs of the seats, and looked like chocolate milk had been spilt in the seat. But I got all that mess cleaned up out of it and everything. Next time I get to the car wash, I'll get those little mats down there cleaned up. The front's got rubber mats, and I gotta, if the windshield doesn't crack until spring, I've got to, or until we get a sunny day. You see, you got them little chips in it like that. There's 3 of them on here, and I've got to get those fixed as soon as I can. But every one of the cleaners that I've seen, well, hello, it says that you have to put the resin in and then put this curing little plastic piece of curing stuff over top of it and let it sit in the sun and cure for anywhere from 5 minutes to 15 minutes to half hour or something like that, depending on what brand you get. And we've had exactly 1 day of sunshine since New Year's, and this is the 25th now. So well, let me shut this off for a second, and I'll go inside the house and film some more on the radio. All right, well, I've stuck in a little work light here temporarily till I can find a better light fixture for this room in here. And I've got that tube socket out. Got it drilled out, and of course I got all the wires loose there. Yeah, I didn't wrap any tape around them and label them, but I did write everything down, and I've got pictures of where everything goes. Now, as I drilled this out, I noticed when I took this tube socket out, if I can get it in the light up here enough to see it, maybe over here. If you can see, this one pin looks like it has a wire going down to where the rivet was. And I guess I'll just go ahead and put a wire down to that and try to solder it back into place on the new one. The new one here, I bent all these pins out a little bit on account of, if they're not bent out, they try to fall through this side. I don't want them falling through. So we'll get that put in before too long. And one other thing I noticed on this thing, I don't remember which 2 pins it was. I think it was pins 4 and 5 or something like that, or maybe it was 5 and 6. I've got it in the manual. Now they said in the manual it says to the 7Z4 tube that there's no connection to those 2 pins, but they had a lot of wires and stuff connected to them, and I'm wondering if they just used those as tie points for other wires on there and stuff. And if they did, if instead of soldering that many wires back to that tube socket, if I can just put in a terminal strip and solder them to those. I don't see any reason I couldn't. I think I'll mount it to the, probably, I gotta find some place in there to mount it, don't I? There's not a whole lot of room in there. Maybe I can mount it up here on the side or something. I don't know, but anyhow, like I say, I haven't done a whole lot to it over the last month or so because of that accident, and I spent hours and hours each day looking at different vehicles and whatnot before we finally just settled on that one. That's not the vehicle I wanted, that Trailblazer out there. I wanted a Dodge Durango. And I found one that was just perfect, and the guy sold it the day before I went to buy it. So, what can you do? It got down to the point where we had to have the rental car back to the rental place in like 3 days. And I finally just picked out another vehicle, basically the same one that we had, like I say, that Trailblazer. Now, I didn't like the last Trailblazer we had. I thought it was a piece of shit. Pardon my language. But that doggone thing was just one clusterfuck after another. And I'm hoping that not all of them are lemons like that one was. I'm sincerely hoping that this one turns out to be a whole lot better. I mean, some of them had to be good because, well, hell, they made them for years and lots of people bought them. But on the off chance that it does start to go bad, I thought, well, the only plus side to this is that I know how to fix about everything on them that can go wrong now because of having that other one. So if anything goes wrong on that one, I won't have a learning curve. Anyhow, I just figured I'd let everybody know where things stand. This is Gary, signing off.